Baseball Tips from the Stars by Mars Candy. Hear in their own voices stars like Duke Snider, Ken Boyer, Ernie Banks, and Stan the Man Musial tell you how to improve your batting. First, here's Lou Boudreau talking with Duke Snider.
Duke Snider, great left-handed power hitter, wants to give you youngsters a few words of advice about hitting.
Well, young boys, the main thing in hitting in baseball, and especially in professional baseball, and learning how to play baseball, when you walk up to the plate, the first thing, of course, is to be comfortable at the plate. I don't mean a real wide stance. You see hitters have wide stances, closed stances, everything else. But the main thing is to get up there and be comfortable and get a bat that's not too heavy for you. I see a lot of young boys in this little league and things like that that have a real heavy bat and they just don't get it around in time. Now, when you walk up the plate and get in a comfortable position, make sure that you keep your eye on the ball at all times. This is the most important thing, I think, in hitting, besides good balance, is to keep your eye on the ball. When you take a pitch and you're not going to swing at it and you take it, watch the ball go into the catcher's glove, and this will teach you and help you keep your eye on the ball at all times.
Now, you keep your shoulders level, of course, and have a level swing.
I try, of course, to make my swing level, but I try to keep my front shoulder, which, say I'm a left-handed hitter, I try to keep my right shoulder going into the ball, and that keeps me from taking my eye off the ball also.
What about your stride into the ball, into the pitch?
Strides vary quite a bit. I think for youngsters, Lou, the stride isn't as important as just watching the ball and getting a real good level swing at the ball and watching it and just getting a nice, good, smooth cut. And don't try and hit the ball 400 feet. Just try and meet the ball and make contact with the ball at first, and then your power will come later.
Do you try to make contact with that ball over the plate or in front of the plate?
If the pitch is inside, you have to go out after the ball a little bit and hit it a little further out in front of the plate than you would on an outside pitch. On the outside pitch, the ball will be almost over the plate before you'll hit it. You'll make contact with it. This is to avoid getting hit on the fists or down near the hands with the inside pitch. You can visualize in your own mind, if you stand up at the plate and you start to swing at an inside pitch and it's even with the plate, you're going to hit it on the handle of the bat.
And what about the covering of the plate with the bat for the outside pitches as well as that inside pitch?
You have to go in after the outside pitch a little bit more. You have to step in towards the plate a little bit and be sure that you have plate coverage. This is done with your arms too. You go out after the pitch a little bit and you reach out just a little more for that outside pitch. And I recommend not trying to pull that outside pitch to your respective field because it's tough to get that ball up in the air. Say if they were pitching me outside and I tried to pull the ball to right field, why, it might cause a lot more trouble and I'd hit a lot of ground balls to second base. So go to the opposite field with that outside pitch.
Do you always squeeze that bat tight, Duke, before the pitch is made?
No, I squeeze a little tighter with my bottom hand than I do with my top hand. I have a nice strong grip with my bottom hand. My top hand is a little bit looser.
And what about, are you always ready for that fastball?
You can't guess, boys, in baseball because that pitcher will fool you quite a bit. The main thing to do is just be ready for that fastball, and if he does throw the curveball, well, then you'll be ready for that too.
And then what about practicing? That is very important.
Well, I've practiced since I was 5 years old in baseball. I practiced hitting. I used to throw a ball against the wall and practice fielding. My father used to hit me fly balls, and I just used to practice every minute I had, and I don't believe that too much practice can hurt anybody.
Well, thank you very much, Duke Snider, great left-handed hitter.
Thank you, and good luck to you, boys.
Ken Boyer, hard-hitting third baseman, a right-handed hitter, is going to give you youngsters some advice on hitting.
Well, Lou, I think the most important thing for youngsters naturally is the experience, the playing baseball every day. I think that getting out amongst yourselves, it doesn't have to be a baseball game, an organized game, just getting out and getting the experience of swinging the bat. And after you do that, of course, there's a lot of basic things about hitting, and naturally don't try to copy anybody. Get your nice, comfortable stance at the plate. Find a position at the plate where you can cover the entire plate with a bat. I always say to get set for the fastball in every pitch and adjust to the breaking stuff after you see it coming because it's pretty hard to hit that fastball if you're looking for some breaking stuff.
What about the head and the eyes and the shoulders, Ken?
Well, Lou, concentration plays an awful big part, and to hit that baseball is to watch it from the time it leaves the pitcher's hand right on down through the catcher's mitt, even if it's a ball. I think that most of the time that you should see the bat on the ball. I mean, when you swing at the bat, I think that swing at the ball, you should see the bat out on the ball most of the time. Watch that ball all the way through. Have a nice, even, level swing. Don't try to pull the ball out of the ballpark. Just have a nice, just tell yourself at the plate, I'm going to hit a line drive.
But what about the stride? Do you step into the ball or do you stride straight away towards the pitcher?
Well, I personally, I have a pretty narrow stance at the plate and try to not stride too far. I think overstriding gets you where you're hitting under the ball and hitting fly balls. I think that you have to adjust this yourself when you see how you're hitting the ball and where you're hitting the ball. An open stance is advisable if you're having trouble hitting the ball, because I think you watch the ball in over the plate better.
Do you swing level on all pitches?
Well, that's what you attempt to do. If you concentrate on trying what you think you're swinging down on the ball, try to hit down on the ball. I think that that's the way to adopt a nice level swing. When you're concentrating on swinging down, you're actually swinging level. If you think you're swinging level, most of the time you'll be swinging up at the ball.
And Ken, now supposing there's a man on third base with nobody out or one out, and you want to lift a fly ball to the outfield to score that man, how do you go about that?
That's when I spread out a little at the plate. I know that I can watch the ball over better. I think that I concentrate, maybe I drop my arms just a little bit in order to swing up at the ball, because I know that I want to hit the ball in the air. So I'll spread out a little and drop my arms just enough to where I know that I'm going to be swinging up under the ball.
All right. Now, you're one of the better hitters that can hit a ball far and deep to the opposite field, to right field. What is the secret in hitting the ball to the right field?
Well, I think that comes with a little more experience, Lou. I don't advise it to youngsters that much, except to say to try to hit the ball where it's pitched. But in my case, I used to be a 100% pull hitter. I've had to adopt a stance and a style and learning the pitchers and knowing where they're going to pitch me in order to do this. And even at first, when I was hitting to right field, I did so without any power at all. And I think just the experience and the concentration and the constantly working on this, I think I've developed this.
Thank you very much. Ken Boyer, hard-hitting right-handed third baseman.